This is a prophecy about Egypt. Look, Adonai is riding a swift cloud on his way to Egypt. Before him, Egypt's idols tremble. Egypt's courage melts within them. I will incite Egypt against Egypt. Brother will fight against brother, friend against friend, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. The courage of Egypt will ebb away within it. I will reduce its counsel to confusion. They will consult idols and mediums, ghosts and spirits. I will hand over the Egyptians to a cruel master. A harsh king will rule them. The water will ebb from the sea. The river will be drained dry. The rivers will become foul. The canals of Egypt's Nile will dwindle and dry up. The reeds and rushes will wither. The river plants on the banks of the Nile and everything sown near the Nile will dry up, blow away, and be no more. Fishermen too will lament. All who cast hooks in the Nile will mourn. Those who spread nets on the water will lose heart. The linen workers will be in despair, along with the weavers in the white cotton. The spinners will be crushed, the hired workers dejected. The princes of Zoran are utter fools. Pharaoh's wisest counselors give stupid advice. How can you say to Pharaoh, I'm a sage descended from the kings of old? Where are they, then, those sages of yours? Let them tell you, so all can know what Adonai Svaot has planned against Egypt. The princes of Zoan have been fooled. The princes of Noph have been duped. Egypt's clan chiefs had led her astray. Adonai has mixed up their minds with a spirit that distorts judgment. So they make Egypt stagger in whatever she does, like a drunk staggering in his vomit. Nobody in Egypt will find work to do, neither head nor tail, neither tail, palm, frown, nor lowly reed. On that day, Egypt will be like a woman trembling with fear because Adonai Svaot is shaking his fist at them. Just mentioning the land of Yehuda to the Egyptians will throw them into panic. They will be afraid because of what Adonai Svaot has planned for them. On that day, there will be 5 cities in the land of Egypt that speak the language of the Canaan and swear loyalty to Adonai Svaot. One of them will be called the City of Destruction. On that day, there will be an altar to Adonai in the middle of the land of Egypt, as well as a standing stone for Adonai at its border. It will be a sign and witness to Adonai Svaot in the land of Egypt, so that when they cry out to Adonai for help because of the oppressors, he will send them a savior to defend and rescue them. Adonai will make himself known to Egypt on that day. The Egyptians will know Adonai. They will worship him with sacrifices and offerings. They will make vows to Adonai and keep them. Yet Adonai will strike Egypt, both striking and healing. So they will return to Adonai. He will listen to their prayers and he will heal them. On that day, there will be a highway from Egypt to Ashur. Ashur will come to Egypt, and Egypt to Ashur, and Egypt will worship with Ashur. On that day, Israel will be a third partner with Egypt and Ashur, and a blessing here on earth, for Adonai Svaot has blessed him. Blessed be Egypt, my people, Ashur, the work of my hands, and Israel, my heritage. In the year that Sargon, the king of Ashur, sent his commander-in-chief to attack Ashdod, he captured it. It was at that time that Adonai, speaking through Yeshayahu, the son of Amoz, said, Go and unwind the sackcloth from around your waist, and take your sandals off your feet. So he did, going about unclothed and barefoot. In the time Adonai said, Just as my servant Yeshayahu has gone out unclothed and barefoot for 3 years as a sign and portent against Egypt and Ethiopia, so will the king of Ashur lead away the captives of Egypt and the exiles of Ethiopia, young and old, unclothed and barefoot, with their buttocks exposed, to the shame of Egypt. They will be dismayed and ashamed, because Ethiopia, their hope, and Egypt, their pride. On that day, the people living along this coast will say, Look what happened to the people to whom we fled for help, hoping they would rescue us from the king of Ashur. How will we escape now? A prophecy about the coastal desert. Like whirlwinds sweeping over the Negev, it comes from the desert, from the fearsome land. A dire vision has been shown to me. The betrayer betrays and the spoiler spoils. Elam advanced. Maddie lay siege. I will end all groaning. This is why my insides are racked with pain. I am seized by pains like a woman in labor, wrenched by what I hear, aghast at what I see. My mind reels, shuddering assails me. The twilight I long for terrifies me. They set the table, light the lamps, eat and drink. Get going, princes. Oil the shields. This is what Adonai said to me. Go, post a watchman to report what he sees. If he sees the cavalry, horsemen in pairs, riders on donkeys, riders on camels, he must be on alert, on full alert. He calls out like a lion, my lord. I stand on the watchtower all day long. I stay at my post all night. Then, as they appeared, the cavalry, horsemen in pairs, he spoke these words. She has fallen! She has fallen, Babel! All the carved images of her God lie shattered to the ground. My people, who have been threshed, grain trotting down on my threshing floor, I am telling you what I have heard from Adonai Svaot, the God of Israel. The prophecy about Duma. Someone is calling to me from Seir. Watchman, how much longer is it night? Watchman, how much longer is it night? The watchman answers, morning is coming, but also the night. If you want to ask, come back again. A prophecy about Arabia. You caravans of Danim will camp in the desert growth of Arabia. Bring water to the thirsty, you who live in Tema. Greet the fugitives with food because they are fleeing the sword, the drawn sword, the bent bow, and the press of battle. For this is what Adonai has told me. Within a year and not a day more, as if a hired worker were keeping track of the time, the glory of Kadir will come to an end. Few of Kadir's valiant archers will be left. Adonai, the God of Israel, has spoken.